Hey guys, welcome back to Tamriel College. I'm Zod. Today I'm going to be doing a real quick look, like review sort of a game that I've been interested in a while, Code Vein. This game sort of came onto my radar a while back. I saw a trailer for it. I want to say it was maybe the Game Awards or E3, like not this year, but like last year. Been on my radar for a while. The demo finally came out. I got to stream it last night. I enjoyed it so much. I wanted to do sort of a review. In my experience with these games, this game comes out on the 27th, and in my experience with these games, typically when a demo comes out and the game is this close to release, there's not a ton of like major things added to the game. Usually it's tons of bug fixes, but again, it's a demo. Grain of salt, everything I'll talk about could be completely changed, right? Just, grain of salt, obviously. I enjoyed this game so incredibly much. I wanted to do a quick, kind of my experience with the demo. I know I had a lot of people in my Discord asking me about it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed my review, and let's get started. Okay, hey guys, so first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the things I liked about the game, and I'm going to go over the few things I didn't like about the game at the end. I'll let you know when we start the things that I didn't like. Obviously, I'll put some up on the screen. So basically, this game, no joke, this game has one of the best character creators I think I have ever seen. It has one of the best character creators I think I have ever seen in a video game. It is so incredibly good. It's better than like Black Desert's character creator. It's crazy. So you have all these different hair options, right? You have hair options, and then you can stack more than one, you can do hair, and then you can make another accessory. You can do hair, and then you can stack another hair accessory under that one, and then put highlights in them, right? And you can even customize your character down to literally the pupils and the designs in the pupils, and then you can give each different eye unique looks, and the character creator is so incredible. What's really interesting about this is from what I saw, there was only 5 actual base pieces of clothing, and then there's a bunch of accessories you can stick on, right? But what's actually interesting about that is, and I don't know if you get more later in the game, but what's interesting is you do, as you collect gear, some of the gear looks a little different, and when you change your gear, it actually keeps the color scheme from your original character customization, which is really, really neat. But yeah, I mean, you can add all kinds of stuff, customization in this game. It's just the character created in this game is so good. Something else that's really neat about it is in your home base, you can actually pull up your character creator whenever you're in home base, whenever you want, and actually change your character all the time. You can change it whenever you want. I did not try and gender swap it. I'll have to go back and see if I can do that, because that would be kind of weird. It'd be kind of interesting. But what's really crazy is the cutscenes in this game actually keep the detail from your character creator. So you can go in and change your character. You'll have a cutscene, and then you can go in and change your character, and the very next cutscene will have all of the detail that you put in from the character creator. It's the amount of detail that went in to this game and its character creation is absolutely unbelievable. I cannot say enough good about it. The only weird thing was when you go to put accessories on, there's a limit, some kind of weight limit or currency limit on what kind of accessories you can put in, the amount of accessories you can put in. I don't know if that increases. It wasn't really that limiting. I could still put on 8 or 9 different things. But yeah, guys, can't say enough about the character created in this game. I literally could have spent the entire 5 or 6 hours we played this game last night just in a character creator. It was absolutely incredible. So as far as the combat goes in this game, so the combat is actually really interesting too. So what you have is these things called blood codes. And your blood code whatever blood code you get them throughout the demo. We got them like for like we beat bosses, we get one, and then I want to say we looted one at some point. But yeah, you get these things called blood codes, and your blood code essentially will change your stats. So like you can have like a ranged blood code where like it'll inherently like increase your like range stats, or you can have one that like one of the ones you get, or I got off a boss last night, was it makes you tanky, but makes you really strong, but you're like slower, right? So you get blood codes that will inherently change your stats, and it will also, when you have that blood code equipped, it will lock you into a certain kind of weapon. So, or it'll lock you out of certain kind of weapons. So like when you have one that uses like two-handed weapons, you can't use like a one-handed weapon, right? Or like a bayonet. You get bayonets in this game. So blood codes change your stats. They change the kind of weapon that you can equip. What's interesting about the blood codes is they give you passive and active abilities called gifts that you can unlock. You spend your currency in game to unlock them, right? So what's cool is when you use that ability enough, you actually master it, and you unlock the ability to take that gift or that ability or the passive and actually use it with you can use it with other blood codes. So it actually behooves you to go through and look at different blood codes you've collected and say, oh, I could use this ability with like, I can use this ability with this kind of like other ability, and you can like make builds out of that. You can actually min-max and make builds. I'll show you guys here. Last night, my setup, I actually used a bunch of different buffs. Basically, like one of them put poison on a weapon, and one of them like increased my attack power, and one of them like gave me a shield, and I made this sort of like dot build, sort of. Yeah, it's so interesting. The actual like skill tree system and the upgrade system in this game is really nice. Now, I did run into a bit of confusion. You have different companions you can use, and then those companions have like certain abilities, I think, that are tied to them specifically. So there's like, as you progress in the game, you're gonna get companions that come with you. It's a spoiler alert, I guess, but basically, like some of those abilities seem like they were tied to that specific companion, which is fine because there's only like one, right? It's like a special passive or whatever you can use when you have them. As far as gear goes, gear is pretty cool. As I was playing through the demo, I don't know if it'll be more spaced out on the regular game, but I can tell you that the gear was pretty plentiful. I kept finding gear. It's typical RPG where like you find a weapon and then you can like upgrade it. We'll get into more of that in a minute. You can upgrade it, right? Like that's, although there is a twist to that, and I'll get to that in a sec. But yeah, the gear's cool. Gear seemed pretty plentiful. There's all kind of different looking gear you can get. You can upgrade it, make it look different. There's augments you could put on weapons, like poisons and different things. I didn't see anything about enchanting weapons yet, although that might be a thing. As far as combat goes, the actual physical combat of the game, combat was cool. It flows really well. The roll dodges feel pretty good. I played Bloodborne a little bit. I've never played Dark Souls, but I played Bloodborne, so I have a general idea kind of how these Soulsy games kind of work. Combat feels really good. As far as like, my weapon always felt like it did enough damage, and I felt like I got punished when I made mistakes, which is normal. It's a good thing. So you're gonna get your stamina meter that you typically get in these games. You're gonna get your stamina meter, which ties into like roll dodge and and using your weapon. So that's something we've seen before. You're gonna get so your abilities, like your gifts or their abilities that you get from your blood codes. All of those are going to use this currency you're going to see down on the screen. It's actually covered up. But yeah, you're going to get, as you level up, you get more of them, but they're essentially bullets, right? It's essentially currency. They're like bullets, basically. But each of those gifts uses one of those bullet things, and you get them for like roll dodging and like, you get them for like roll dodging and like attacking enemies. I never really felt like, except for on that last boss fight, I never felt like I was starved for those. I always had them. Like you generate them enough where it's not a problem. So Yeah, that'll do it for combat and the character creator. As far as other stuff, you do get a home base in this game. Something I really like is, it was a surprise to me, is you get a home base in this game where you have a bunch of different NPCs. One of them gives you the ability to like buy just items. I didn't see any armor in there. There's an actual like armor. She sells you like weapons and actual like gear. She also gives you the ability to upgrade them, and she also actually gives you the ability to transform them and give them like different stats, which is super interesting. That seemed pretty interesting. What's actually cool about that is the item that you need, or at least the item that I found that you need to upgrade and transform those, you can't actually buy it. So the merchant that you get the upgrade, you can buy the upgrade mat from the merchant, but you don't buy it with currency. You buy it by, you have to do dungeons and like story missions, and you get these things, you trade to her, and they give you basically trade favor. And then once you get a certain amount of those points, you trade it in for an upgrade item. It's really neat. I got almost enough in the demo to upgrade a piece of gear, and it was just a demo, so I feel like they should be plentiful enough. Leveling in this game also was pretty quick. It's similar to Dark Souls in the sense that you collect like a currency, and then when you die, you have to go collect the currency again. I never felt starved for that currency. Use that currency to upgrade your gifts and abilities. And you also use that to upgrade your character. I was like level 25 by the time I finished it, and I only played for like 5 hours. It was in the demo. They might scale that back, maybe, maybe they'll scale it back. They were just letting everyone kind of let it rip in the demo. Maybe they'll scale it back. I'm not 100% yet. One of the other things you get at your home base is, there's a couple things you get. You get a, so you get like a dungeon master guy where you can actually get maps of a dungeon. And then you go in and you actually like, you fight the dungeon, and then you can take him back another map of like a dungeon or an area that you've been to before, and he'll actually like analyze it and open up another area with more bosses in it. It's really interesting. The dungeon we played through last night was pretty fun. The last boss fight was pretty brutal. It was really fun. There was only one thing I didn't particularly like about that fight. We'll get to that in a second. It seemed fair. There was one or two things I thought could maybe be fixed, but yeah, it was really good. As far as the story goes, the story seems really interesting. The game looks beautiful. Story seems interesting. It's a bit vague. Like one of the your helper like lady who like saves you in the beginning of the game just completely has amnesia, and I'm 100% sure I'll find out it's like a mortal god character who can just kill everything at the end. I hope that's not cliche like that. But I found myself caring for like the characters towards the end of the demo. I was like, damn, I really care about these characters. Like one of the characters, he helps you and you find out his actual name, and it's like this really cool moment. Yeah, story seems fun. Graphics look great. Story seems fun. Didn't have any issues last night at all. We streamed it from my PS4. I had zero issues with any kind of performance issues whatsoever. Performed great. Frames are great. I'd have to go back and look at it. I want to say it was 60 FPS the whole time. I never dropped a single frame. Animation style sort of lends to that, though it's animated, so I'd imagine it's probably not too much of a resource hog. I run a 1066 gig, so my graphics card's not like the best in the world, but I run a 3900X. I run a really nice CPU and a ton of RAM, but I ran 60 FPS the whole time, never had any problems. And I streamed it from my capture card. But a couple things I didn't like, guys. One of the only things I really didn't like about the game was so I'll show you guys. So I was having issues where basically you lock onto someone and then you roll dodge, and then when you lose line of sight, you lose lock on them, which might just be a realism thing, and it might be in different games. It was a bit irritating, and maybe it was me. Maybe I clicked the button, but I thought I noticed it, and it was a bit irritating because like that's death on some of these bosses. You losing a lock and line of sight on that boss is you dying. So it could just be a, learn to play thing. Could just be a learn to play thing. Maybe I'm crazy. The only other thing I didn't like about this game, to be completely honest with you, is I didn't really like how stuff clipped through. Like stuff like you'll have hair like will clip through like a mask, or like hair will like clip through a hat. And it's the demo. Maybe they'll polish all that stuff out. It's stupid, right? Like it just bothered me because like I play a lot of MMOs and I typically won't pick a character. Like I try and pick armor and I look where stuff won't clip through. It just bothers me. But the lock on to the line of sight thing sort of sucks, and the clipping stuff sucks. The only other thing I really noticed that I didn't like about this game is the tracking seemed kind of butthole-ish. Like once or twice on this last boss fight, you can see here, like I went to roll dodge stuff and it just killed me. Like I roll dodge and then he would hit me when he should not have been able to actually roll dodge me. And I was talking to friends of mine in the stream last night who were saying that like it's I guess a timing thing, and even they were like, damn, the tracking on this game kind of blows a little bit on this boss. Like it's almost unfair where like you roll dodge and it's like a 1/5 of a second too early basically, and it's just bad tracking and he just fucking one-shots you, right? Like where I roll dodged, the boss ended up where I should have had an iframe and I didn't. Again, you know, it is what it is. It's probably just a learn to play issue. But yeah, I had friends of mine commenting last night. They were like, there were moments where they were like, damn, the tracking to this game is kind of butt. Other than that, guys, God, I cannot say enough about this game. I really enjoyed this game. Not getting paid to say this. No one gave me copies of anything. I just played the demo last night. I love this game enough that I will be pre-ordering this for sure. Game comes out on the 27th. I believe it's PS4, Microsoft Windows, and Xbox One. Demo's out right now on PS4. I'll leave a link in the chat where you guys can download that and play it. Highly, highly recommend this game if you like Dark Souls-y kind of games. If you like, I don't even know what to call this. It's like an RPG. I don't want to say it's a JRPG, but it is like a hack and slash kind of game. If you like these kind of games, you know, definitely think about checking this out. Check the demo out. I'm also going to put my playthrough up. I'm actually just going to upload my playthrough from my Twitch channel. It's on my Twitch channel, so if you just want to go watch it there, you can. If not, I'm gonna put my actual playthrough up on my YouTube. I'm gonna re-upload it. I wasn't playing any music or anything. I don't think I'll have any issues with that. As far as like copyright issues go. So, you know, if you guys want to see gameplay for the game, feel free to check out that video. It's gonna be long. It's like a 5-hour playthrough. But maybe I'll break it up in parts a bit. But yeah, guys, if you like my video, feel free to like and subscribe. Like I said, Code Vein, fantastic game. Not gonna give it a rating because it's a demo. Game's not out yet. Not gonna give it a number rating. It's still a demo. Game's not even out yet. But yeah, hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye, nerds. Bye, nerds.